Pilots are, no wonder, high income earners. Do you think that are they wealthy enough to be considered as rich? What's being rich? In this video, we will figure it out. Hello again. I am Caner. I am with you with another video. Before starting our topic, I would like to say you all Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. I hope you will have a great Christmas and New Year time with your relatives, friends or loved ones. By the way, I just realized most of you guys are watching my videos without subscription. I want to tell you how important it is for me to see you subscribing my channel for two reasons. First, YouTube algorithm pushes us above and we are reaching more people once you subscribe and like my videos. And second of all, you're motivating me to record more aviation content. Please go ahead and subscribe, like my videos, okay? That being said, we can continue to our video. You might think of what's being rich. And in the US, we are very lucky because compared to the rest of the world, we are really earning good. I would like to give some statistics about the median income level of United States. So based on latest data as of 2023, median income level for a household for two is $75,143. Let's think about the first year salaries. After the new contract, most pilots on their own making more than this amount. So we can see that even if year first, you're gonna make more than an average American household on your own. We don't even mention your spouse or your partner's income, if is there any. We can conclude by the statistic as of 2023, 29% of entire US population is considered as lower income level class, and middle class is 52%. This class is the most dominant one, and upper class is only representing 19% of the entire US population. How about the brackets? So how many percentage of the entire US population earning how much? So 9.4% of entire US population is having less than $15,000 income. Between $15,000 to $24,900, you can see 8.7% of the entire US population. If you go up between $100,000 and $150,000, 15.3% of entire United States is lying down in these brackets. But how about the ultimate upper class? So they are concluding more than $200,000. It's only 10.3% of the entire US household is earning more than $200,000. Easily, second year first officer can make this money, so we can say that you will be within 10% of entire United States by earning standalone without including your spouse income. I just checked what will be the ultra wealthy income levels earning, and I came up with the number from the internet, of course. It's stating that $952,902. Oh, this is a really high bracket. So can you make this number as a pilot? Maybe, but you will be very senior and you need to know your contract by heart, but it is very unrealistic value. But if you're a wide-body captain, easily you can make half of this amount. So basically, if there are two wide-body captains in one family, then you could be considered as ultra-wealthy group. How about the total compensation? Let's say you're earning this amount, but how much you should be able to save, or at least you have asset to be considered as wealthy? Well, based on Charles Schwab modern survey done by 2023, Americans consider $2.2 million as a threshold of being wealthy. But $2.2 million in 2050 won't be giving you purchase power of what we are having right now because of the inflation. So what I have done, I just went Forbes inflation calculator, and based on 3% annual average of inflation rate, I calculated how much money or how much total asset you need to have by each year to be considered as wealthy. So as you can see from Forbes inflation calculator, initial sum of $2.2 million at 2023 will be $5,184,444 US in 2052. So you can consider yourself Anytime when you intersect those points, you could consider yourself as wealthy. Because of the inflation, each year you need to adjust your total assets so that you can consider yourself wealthy if you are above and beyond this limit threshold. I just take an average 3% inflation rate because the average national inflation in the United States is around 3%. So that's a good approximation. If your aim is to be wealthy by 2040, 2030, your aim should be the intersect on this graph and go beyond that value that we are going to adjust for today's 2.2 million with the inflation. So how you are going to calculate your total wealth is very simple. It's basically your total assets minus your total liabilities. So assets are everything, including investment, your cash money, your equity in a home or in a car, 401k account, your ROTH IRA, your brokerage account, whatever you can have. Liabilities, on the other hand, are your debts. So basically your mortgage, your student loans, your car loan, or credit card payments that needs to be done. All these things are liabilities. Anytime your net worth reaches $2.2 million today's value, or in the future adjusted by inflation, we can consider ourselves wealthy by Charles Schwab Modern Survey. Now I will tell you how I am planning to invest to hit these points on the graph, and I will tell you my strategy. But before starting, I would like to have a disclaimer first. I'm not a financial advisor. I am just a random YouTuber. I have a business management degree. I'm doing my researches for myself and I don't give any recommendation to anyone. Whatever I am telling here is only my investment strategy. You should consult professionals when it comes to decision-making process of your own finance. Don't do something because a random YouTuber is telling his strategy to you. Everyone should educate themselves and use due diligence before making any financial investment decisions. That being said, here is my investment strategy. Hopefully will take me to the wealthy side of this graph. Let's pause here. If you like the content me and my team are creating, you can consider contributions or membership options through buymeacoffee.com. Your contributions will really help to create more quality content on this channel for aviation lovers. Thank you so much. First, create yourself an emergency fund. Emergency funds are really important, guys, and aviation has up and downs once every 10 years. When we have a look at the data, we could see that financial crisis, on top of that COVID, and we see every time aviation is facing difficulties, and the first thing people stop when crisis hit is traveling. And no matter what, every aviation is always affected by the crisis because it's a very fragile sector. Therefore, it's advisable to keep 3-6 months of your expenses in your cash account. This is really important. You shouldn't be investing any money before you create your emergency fund because that's the only way for yourself, guys, to support yourself in case of unexpected things. For my own emergency fund, I always keep 3 months. But it doesn't mean that 3 months is a good number. 6 months is advisable, but why I keep myself in 3 months is very simple. I don't have kids. Life is easier when you don't have kids because if something happens, you can lower your expenses. And also I have insurances. If something bad happens, if I'm furloughed, I have backup plans and I have some passive income. On top of that, insurances will provide me some income stream for at least a year. I can use these emergency funds for some unexpected events. $5,000 is a good number for me per month because my monthly expenses are around $5,000 after tax. So I have $15,000 cash in my emergency fund. You should make your own calculation because everyone's expenses are different than each other and you need to come up with a number. Second thing, pay high interest debt. This is important, guys, Before start investing, you need to get rid of high interest debt payments. I know we didn't come to that point that easily. We face too many financial problems in our life until we come here. We all know that the flight training is extremely expensive, and we had to spend lots of money throughout our flight training. We went through the regionals, or you went to low cost. You faced lots of problems and challenges until you reach a final destination. Now it's time to enjoy our life. But before starting our investment, we need to get rid of high interest debt so that we can take the maximum benefit and we don't lose money while trying to invest. Most of the time, high interest debts like credit card or high interest loans are taking more than what we can get from the investment. And after that, finally, you can start investing. As a pilot, I need to prepare myself future, because while you are being a pilot, somehow you are protected. You always have some level of income level because you have monthly minimum guarantees, and on top of that you have LTD, long-term disabilities. If something happens, still you can survive. But the main point, you need to prepare yourself for the retirements. Retirements are really important, because if you are not preparing yourself for the retirements, you might need to lower your lifestyle once you retire. Imagine you are at the age of 64, you're a wide body captain, you're making $500,000 a year. If you didn't prepare yourself for the retirement, then from $500,000, if you go down to $60,000 a year, it will impact your lifestyle significantly. I'm trying not to reduce my lifestyle when I retire. For that reason, my favorite investment is Roth IRA. Yes, IRA stands for Individual Retirement Accounts in the United States, and Roth is a great tool to invest. So as of 2024, you can contribute $7,000 per year. What I like in Roth, you contribute after tax amount, and since you paid your taxes on this amount, your investment grows tax-free. When you need to withdraw your money, there is no tax, so you can access all of your money at the age of 59.5, and it's tax-free cash. So let's make a simple calculation. If you contribute $7,000 per year to your Roth IRA, and if we take into account an average S&P 500 appreciation rate for the last 30 years, we can say that 10% is a good approximation. And if you start investing from 0 to $7,000 per year, and you invest 30 years non-stop with a 10% appreciation rate, $1,259,268 US tax-free when you retire. This is only a small portion of what you can have after your retirement as a pilot. These values are tax-free, and anytime you can withdraw these numbers. This is a great thing. And also don't forget, these numbers are not including additional contribution when you reach 50 years or older. So what are the extra payments that you can have is $1,000, so that you can grow even bigger than that. If your wife is not working, if she is stay-at-home mom, or your husband is not working, you can open a Roth IRA account for him or her so that you can double this number. So we are talking about almost $2.6 million tax-free withdrawal when you retire, or at least 59.5 years old. That's why we need to focus on building future wealth with Roth IRA, and we need to take max benefit out of it. And as a pilot with this income level, we should be able to do it very easily. Number 4, max out 401k. Either pre-tax or Roth option is good for that. You can choose any of that. I will tell my investment strategy, but prior to that, I want to talk about 401ks. 401ks are employer-sponsored retirement saving plans. It's mainly funded by the company. You can also contribute to your 401k, but these contributions are capped each year with some certain amount of US dollar. As of 2024, you can contribute maximum $23,000 US dollar to your 401k. If you are 50 or older, you can contribute extra 7,500 US dollar, which makes the total contribution limit 30,500 US dollars. And total contribution in 2023, what I mean by saying total company contribution versus your contribution, cannot exceed $69,000 per year. Right now, my tax burden is not that high. So for me, it is more logical to have Roth contribution in my 401k, not before tax, but after tax. Since I'm not that high in tax brackets, I can potentially save from the taxes by paying now, and I let my money grow tax-free in the future. Then let it grow tax-free, but at the end of the day, I need to pay taxes when I retire. But this is the calculation that you need to make. Practically, we are in the lower tax brackets compared to 5 years ago. Therefore, you are paying less income tax, which makes your money more valuable now than the future. So why not to pay the tax now, because we're all of us paying less tax now, and we never know if they're going to increase it again or extend it for another 3, 4, 5 years. That's why I always contribute 401k Roth, and I max out for 2024, so I will contribute $23,000 as a Roth in my retirement. But don't forget, companies' contributions are pre-tax, so in your account goes pre-tax from company contribution side and after tax from the Roth side. And you can always roll over after tax amount to your Roth IRA account, and then you can let your after tax money grow in one account, and you can keep your pre-tax in one account. Once it comes to your retirement age, then you can start developing in withdrawal strategy so that you can reduce your taxable income on pre-tax amount. So companies are contributing, starting from 2024, they're contributing 17% of your annual income into your 401k, even you contribute $0. Here in airline world, if you earn $100,000, you will have $17,000 ready waiting for you with no vesting period. And also starting from 2026, this amount will go to $18,000 because it's 18%. It's a great thing. Imagine if you are making $100,000, $18,000 will be on your 401k. But let me give you some upper level examples. If you are a captain, you can easily make $300,000, and in that case, starting from 2026, you can easily make $54,000 in your 401k without you contribute anything in it. That's only company contribution. And also you contribute on top of this, it's going to be huge amount. If you're a wide body captain who is earning more than $500,000 after new contract, you can have $90,000 sitting on your 401k in 1 year. That's a great number. 90,000. Do you remember what was the average household income for United States for 2 people? That was 75,143 US dollar. And as a wide body captain, in 1 year, company contributes to your 401k more than average median income of entire United States, only sitting in your 401k before your contribution. And don't forget, these numbers are subject to spillage because it's well beyond the 2023 or 2024 limits, but we are not talking about it for the simplicity of the calculations, okay? So if you have watched my previous video about $20 million career of an airline pilot, you are familiar with my Excel spreadsheet calculation. Based on this assumption, if we think that we are going to be the first officer 3 years on narrow body, 3 years on wide body, then we are going to be narrow body captain for 13 years and 11 years wide body captain with the 1,000 credits per year, and 17% contribution until 2026 and 18% from then on. With the 10% appreciation rate, our contribution can reach $10,481,808 US dollar. Can you believe it? If you have a 30-year career in an airline, you can save $10.4 million in your 401k account. That's really mind-blowing, and people cannot believe that can happen. But if you start investing young enough, and if you let the compounding interest do its work, you can literally earn this amount of money easily. If you do your contribution at Roth, and let's say now $23,000 per year, if you start from zero, each year you get 23,000, and you let your money grow with a 10% appreciation rate per year over a 30 years period, you can have $3,783,363 tax free. That's tax already paid. When you combine this 3,783,360 with the initial Roth IRA contribution, 1,259,268, you will have more than $5 million on your Roth account, tax paid, waiting for your retirement. You have access to that at the age of 59.5, and you can start withdrawing tax-free money because you already paid these taxes 30 years ago, 25 years ago, 20 years ago. You paid for it. The last one that I would like to mention, HSA, health saving accounts. I want you to think this account as a health retirement account. Health savings accounts are so powerful. You have triple tax advantage. So you deposit into this account tax-free, and then growth is tax-free, and you can withdraw your money tax-free. We will need some medical expenses that needs to be taken care of once we are aging. So why not to take an advantage right now? Let your money grow for your future medical expenses. I know everyone's situation is different, and you need to be in a high deductible plan in order to have an HSA account, and not everyone's situation is the same. Right now I don't have kids, so I'm in a good health situation. I can stay in a high deductible plan and save my money on a HSA and invest this money on a HSA and let the money grow tax-free. And once I retire, I can withdraw this money tax-free for medical expenses. That's a great deal. Not many Americans are using their HSA in that way for their retirement medical expenses, but there's a great tool, guys. Most of the time, I know you have kids and everything. Sometimes it's not logical for you to go on a high deductible plan, but if you're in a high deductible plan, you should consider investing on your HSA account. And I found that in 2022, total cost of healthcare in retirement for an American couple is $315,000 US. And we all know that healthcare in the United States is extremely expensive. $315,000 in 2022, and in 2024 it's even more than that. In 2050 it's gonna be more. So you need to prepare yourself for that, and you can start saving some money for your retirement. There are also limits how much you can contribute for HSA. Why? Because these accounts are so powerful. There are triple tax advantages on this account, so government doesn't want you to put all your money there, so you can bypass all this tax dues that you need to pay to the government, right? For that reason, these amounts are capped. For instance, in 2024, you can contribute $4,150 if you're a single, and if you are married, you can contribute $8,300 US per year. This is a great thing, and most of the time, if you're in a high deductible plan, the companies are contributing to there as well. For instance, in my case, if your single company gives you $800 so that you can put this money in your HSA, and you can contribute some excess amount to reach $4,150. Your contribution and the company contributions are limited by $4,150 US. What was the amount? $315,000 for medical expenses, right? Let me give you some calculation. Let's assume that you were in a high deductible plan because you were not married when you started your career, and you initially invested $30,000 in your HSA account in a couple of years, and then you got married, you increased your contribution, then you pause. You didn't put anything in your HSA account and you forget about it, and you have $30,000, and if you can invest this amount with the 10% appreciation rate over 30 years, your $30,000 actually will be reaching $523,482 US. That will be enough for your future medical expenses when you retire. I use this HSA account as a health retirement account. I try to reach $30,000 and then I will forget this amount in this account and let it grow, and then once I retire, hopefully I can use this money for my future medical expenses once I retire, in addition to supplement Medicare. But from now on, we can now start thinking of investing for ourselves today. The first three ones that I mentioned, you need to wait until you retire. There are some additional rules. For instance, in Roth IRA, you can withdraw your contributions, but you cannot touch the growing money on that. But brokerage accounts are not like this, because you pay the tax and then you have an access to that right away. If you have a house, if you buy a mortgage, you can sell it anytime. So you can think of any other investments in this step as a sixth step. This is really important, guys. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are a captain in Texas, and with the new contract, it is fair to say you can make around $350,000 in a year with 1,000 credit per year. So $350,000 in Texas roughly will bring you $20,000 per month net, right? After tax, you can make $20,000. So until now, what we have done, we invested our money to pay Roth IRA, 401k, and HSA. Let's assume that we max out everything, which until a point that we are allowed to. And if we think everything, we will spend $34,150 per year to max out these three accounts. And yet you are spending only 14% of your income on those things. The rest, almost $17,000 will be waiting for you cash. Of course, I'm not recommending you to go and spend $17,000 cash each month. You need to be saving more, right? To me, I want to save to a maximum extent while enjoying my life. I want to have my financial freedom. I would like to have enough money with this job, so I'm not gonna be relying on future crisis. Am I gonna keep my job? Am I gonna be furloughed? What am I gonna do? I don't want to deal with this kind of thoughts, so that I can save in a maximum extent. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying spend only 5% of your salary, save 95% of your salary. You have a decent job, enjoy. You need to know how to enjoy your life, but at the same time, you should be able to save. If you invest additional $3,000 after tax in your brokerage account for a 30-year period with a 10% appreciation rate, you will have $6.7 million in your brokerage account. And this money will be available to you whenever you want, however you want. That's why you can save huge amount, and after that you still have $14,000 to spend. Of course, there is a lot of years in front of you to reach this point where you start earning a decent captain's salary, but that's what I'm trying to tell. We are earning a lot, we need to invest logically so that we can build our future and we can rely on our own finance rather than company's finance. Or you don't want to work until 70 years old, or you're not going to be the pilot that's trying to work until 80 years old. So this is the important thing, guys, that you need to be in this mindset so that you can maximize your future earnings and your current bank account by saving, and so you will be financially independent. By the way, that's my ultimate aim. I am searching for FIRE, financial independent, retire early. Of course, I love flying. I don't want to retire, but you can reduce your flying hours while enjoying your income, and you can travel the world. That's my motto. I will be recording more videos about financial independence, retire early for pilots, because there's not many videos on YouTube for pilots in this aspect. So I will be sharing my thoughts in the future. I just wanted to tell you my investment strategy that hopefully take me to in a wealthy level. I don't know how long will it take for me to intersect this wealthy point, $2.2 million of today money, let's say $3 million in the future money. I don't know exactly when am I gonna intersect this point, but somewhere in the future, I'm 100% sure I will be taking advantage of compounded interest, so I will be on the wealthy side. If my health allows me to work As long as I work as a pilot, I enjoy my life and I can save a lot. As usual, before I go, I want to say, don't forget to like my video, subscribe my channel, and hit the bell button to get the notifications. You can always share my videos to your friends so I can gain more audience. Algorithm pushes us to forward so we can gain more views and we are gonna be advertised more people. Thank you for watching. See you in another video. Bye bye.